No. Oh, I also don't like it. Okay, guys, in this dark city as usual. Yo, I'm so annoyed. I am extremely annoyed. I wanted to cook when I was coming from work. I couldn't cook. Hello, everyone. Hello. Guys, let me text my guest and find out where she is. A minute, please. Hello, Mr. Leo. Hi, Busim. Hi, Goodness. Hello, user. Guys, why ni balo ukuthi ningo user ungalibhali igama lakho because ngoku ningayazi banza kubiza kanjani. I just texted my guest, guys, to find out where she is. Yo, guys, I'm tired of this country and it's load shedding. Yo, guys, I know this can't be life, but Busi, don't say anything just because when you never experience load shedding. Don't come here. Yo, guys, no. Oh, yes. Usis Pumi is here. Guys, no, this can't be life. Yo. Hi, Faith. Guys, today we have Usis Pume. She owns a sexual reproduction clinic in KZN, and she's been owning it for 4 years. So we are talking with an expert. Let me add her.
Hello.
Hi, my sister.
Hi, Ninjani. I'm good. Finally, this happens. It's
Finally,
been
it happens.
long overdue.
It's
Let me
fine.
pay my dues in this place.
Please, because people have been waiting for you.
Oh my word. Pressure on my side. Hope everybody is good. Hi.
We are well. You see, people are excited to have you because could tell us
Now, let's hope we're gonna have a good chat. Yeah, man. Sorry, sharing load shedding. Yeah. Please don't bring your load shedding to us in KZN. We've been very much fine, eh?
Hi,
So,
Bo. Why? I was
yeah,
actually
you
going to ask you. I was about to
know.
ask you to say, isn't it affecting your business?
Yeah, it does, but it's not as bad as you guys because remember KZN was exempted after the floods.
Oh,
So
okay.
we're not getting it as bad as you, but it's from next week. Yeah, we're gonna be on the same boat. The exemption is over.
Sister Pumi, so I know you from Facebook, right? I don't know who sent who a friend request, but I've known you from Facebook, and I've got a lot of Facebook friends, but you stood out for me because of your clinic. And I think I went as far as going through your profile. I know that you did the PG dip that I did at Stellenbosch. I actually, you did it long time ago, I think.
Yeah, in 2017.
Yeah, so you've always stood out to me. I think the one thing that made you to stand out is you don't camouflage. Like, I've realized that you don't camouflage, and I've realized that you are someone that sticks to their goal. And I've never spoken to you, but I observed you from the timeline that you don't camouflage, you don't look like the rest, or you don't look like how everyone else expects the rest to look like. You stand on your lane, you stick on your lane, and you just keep your guns pointed at your target and you don't stop. So I think the one thing that I want to know is your journey from the time you got into nursing school, how you got into nursing school, and from the time you left the traditional space of working to opening your own practice and being your own boss and other people's bosses. Yeah, I think I would love you to take us back to then when you went into nursing school and transitioning from nursing school into the working environment and reaching a point where you were like, no, I don't want to do this anymore. Actually, let me do my own thing. Let me play my own guitar and dance to my own music. Please take us through that.
Okay, I'll try to be as audible as I can, as well as try to give as much info as possible. Oh, congratulations on your achievement for today, by the way. You did good. Yeah, where do I start? Hey guys, you will laugh at me because I hated nursing. That's a funny business. It's the truth. It's the actual truth, nothing but the truth. My mom is a nurse. I think half of the families are nurses. So I saw ukuthi nje soze ngibe unesi soze. Every time there's gatherings, isibhedlela this, it's epilates, it's this. So nje, I used to be a heartful. Did accounting at school, till matric.
Okay.
No life science subjects, nothing. Like ran away, literally opposite direction. I made sure. However, life happens. You get to the best of us. I find myself. How did I even get in? A neighbor of mine came to our home to ask my mom to help her apply for a nursing course. So my mom wasn't here. So remember, Ganyeti Pela, yeah, I've seen this happen all the time. So I know how to complete the Z83 form. So I sat with her, completed it with her. And then I said, just for the fun of it, just let me just complete it. I complete the form and then we go together to drop off our CVs. I said, okay, let me go with you. We were both young ladies at the time. Then I go, I lucky did I realize I actually get accepted and she doesn't. Around November, yeah, ne? Around November, a letter comes through. My mother, we have a post box that so post doesn't come directly to the house. We collect it from a post box. So mom comes with this letter and she's like, what the hell do you have a letter written Department of Health, case it's in Department of Health, ungenapi, where do you enter? I'm like, oh yeah, no, this is what had happened. I even didn't even tell her. But then I get accepted. Studied at KZN Nursing College, RK Khan campus, which is in Chatsworth. Did my integrated 4 years. 2004 to 2007, ComServe 2008, then 2009. You know, us remember the time we had to pay back. So you study for 4 years, you have to work for government for 4 years. Fine. Lucky I worked in a very small district hospital where we were exposed to everything else. And at some point towards the third year of working in different departments, trying to find my feet. Good, okay, fine. We've been rotating. Where is it that I liked? You guys never liked labor wood. Hated it with the core. I did not like that place. I had a bad experience during training. It was the worst 6 months of my life. Nje, I was not the passionate midwife. However, then there was this sexual reproductive women's health situation that was introduced around 2009. So they came recruiting for people who were interested to be trained. Government is offering training on various things regarding women's health, including TOP, SRH services, blah, 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 and so forth. So I'm like, okay, I don't mind going to study how Pela free hotel batong 2 weeks after we went. Got interested when I was doing the course. It was quite nice. Really, really enjoyed women's health. Unfortunately, then it took women's health is really not really supported at your age that much. They do it because obviously probably we have to have these clinics, but they are really, really not functional. They just try to integrate them, go community clinics there and there, PHC to say, okay, you have a nurse midwife who will obviously do family planning, pap smears. So it's kind of integrated. It's not like a separate entity where you deal with the vast locus and conditions and stuff regarding umuntu wesimame. So yeah, worked, got recruited again. To 20, I think there was a nurse that we worked with. She had gotten an interview with Marie Stopes, South Africa, and at some point she ended up not going. I don't know what happened during the time, and she said to me, are you interested in going to work? Actually, they used to recruit nurses at the time, so I'm already TOP trained and stuff. So I said, yeah, man, let me go. NGO world, let's go see what's happening in this world. It was quite interesting when they worked. Moved to Joburg from KZN first time. Jena, stressful, but I worked. I used to manage a clinic there. They had these micro centers which were placed in these very, very dense, overpopulated communities like about Deep Sloth, your Sowetos and stuff, so that these services are quickly accessible to them. So we managed that project. That project got finished, NGO business.
Yeah.
And yeah, then I applied for another post, and luckily I got that post. It was a more senior post that allowed me to come back to KZN. And then I manage all their coastal centers. So there are about 15 clinics at the time around the coast from KZN to Cape Town. So I used to travel a lot, managing, doing training and doing M&E and all of those things and supports and all of that.
Yeah.
So from there, I'll say that's when I kind of learned how to, because now remember when you're an MSSA, it's an NGO, but also there's the business side of it,
Yeah.
where there's targets, there's money involved, there's funds, there's those type of resources. There's now you're responsible for 13 clinics, obviously resources, finance, and all of that. You kind of get, even though you're a nurse, but you kind of now get exposed on how to control, how to open a new clinic, how to do this and how to do that, how to train, what type of persons you need, and so forth. So I kind of learned that in that mist. NGO life ke baqomba ngebhomu nje project finish, money finish, what
Mm.
retrenchments and so forth. Yimi lo, I was actually on the previous live with a lady that kind of made me laugh to at myself as well. Gone to Sister Ban who kept on resigning about 24 hours. That, yeah.
Sister Asanda.
Yes. So, okay, came back after I was retrenched. Unfortunately, when I was retrenched, I was also pregnant at the time. So with
Sure.
my daughter, yeah, so I stayed home, gave birth, but yes, you cannot stay at home forever.
Yeah.
Applied for a job back at your age, got back, got your age. I worked, got your age for, geez, when I got back, I went to Potchefstroom. It's a tertiary hospital, provincially tertiary hospital. I worked in ICU. It was a foreign world, but I had to learn my ways in high care. I requested a transfer back home because the baby was still small. So I requested that transfer, came back. When I came back to Durban, I worked for 3 weeks.
Hey.
Ngashaya esasistars. Ngashaya esasistars. So because I got headhunted again by this other NGO who were also now doing training for government. So now this NGO, it's called IPAS. I'm sure maybe some of the of the nurses are aware of them. They are trainers. So they also train on SRH, especially TOP as well. So I was already a trainer then. So I went and worked with them. We then assisted. We worked in 5 provinces in South Africa. We were assisting government to open women's health clinics, TOP clinics in hospitals.
Okay.
So we were training doctors and nurses and actually funding and assisting government to actually open the unit, hire the nurse, get the doctor, get the staff, and so forth. So we did that for about I was with them for 3.5 years. So when I joined them, they were already a year and a half towards that project. So we ended up, I think when I started in KZN, because I was in charge of KZN, probably we had about 4 or 5 hospitals that were doing these services. When we left the project in 2017, we had about 56 in this province, clinics that were open and running and
Sure,
functional.
sure, sure, sure,
Yeah,
sure.
so
You
that
know what?
also
You know
huge.
what? Let me say this. I don't like interrupting, but I was right about you. You are a powerhouse.
So yeah, we tried. We worked very hard. We handed over the project back to the province, and yeah, they took the ball running with it and carried on. Yeah, shame now it's not as good as how it was. When there's extra support, you know how it is. You're in the NGO as you go do your facility visits. You know how much the nurses appreciate support from the NGO side. It actually strengthens the programs that they are running, which they are very good with them. So yeah, from then, project ended 2017. Okay, now what do you do? No job again. So stayed at home. That was the longest time, yeah, I stayed at home, about 9 months. Now there's no money coming in. Whatever money you came out with, yeah, pela no. Now you look
Mm.
at, yeah, the bank balance is dropping. What must happen? Try to apply, results nothing. Then the idea of opening a clinic came. I'm like, hi man, I've been doing this thing for so long. What will
Sure.
stop me from doing it? I did my research, picked up it. Yes, nurses are allowed to run clinics. Nurses are allowed to practice. Then I started doing my applications. I'll go deep a bit so that we don't get, if whoever is on the live and they are interested in opening a clinic, they kind of will know the steps.
Yeah.
Okay, if you're a midwife, you are allowed to practice as a midwife privately. So there's applications that you do with National Department of Health. There are forms that you can do to apply to practice as a private nurse. That's number one. So you need to complete those applications. Those applications do not require you to have a facility or do not require you to have whatever, but you are allowed. You get a permit number that they give you, that will allow you to practice as a private nurse. Number two, so if you like me, then I apply to practice as a private midwife as well as a well baby clinic and so forth. So you can, whatever passion that you have, what I want to encourage people is to say, if you love something like how you are now, Z, you are an HIV activist, you train, you do this. So you can then turn that now into a business because you know exactly how the drugs works, what is needed, how many beds you need, how many. There's no specific. So it's like you create your own sanctuary, but you follow the guidelines and the protocols. I still follow the same guidelines. I attend meetings with DOH. I attend nerve center meetings because when you are then linked to your closest hospital. So I'm in Umlazi. Iklinikhi yami it's in Umlazi njengamanje. So I'm linked to Prince Mshieni Hospital, which is the tertiary hospital, which is close by. So whenever there's updates, there's guidelines, the district office will invite me to the meetings. I'll attend. I submit statistics to DOH
I
for the
wanted to ask.
services.
I wanted to ask this question. It's the first time I hear someone owning a clinic saying that they attend these meetings. So I wanted to ask: did you go and introduce yourself? How did you create a relationship with the district hospital, like in your area? How did you do that?
For me, I did take an advantage that obviously when we worked with DOH on that project to open clinics, I already was working with people from the provincial office. So when the director of women's health and so forth, so it was easy. I was known when I opened the clinic. I remember I used to open these clinics in these hospitals. So it
Yeah.
was kind of like easier for me to walk into the CEO's office
Mm.
to introduce myself to say, oh, okay, I no longer work with this company now. This is what I do. This is where I am. However, it's not easy for everyone, but it's doable. All you need is the correct papers. So, like one, which is that it's those permits. You also need, obviously, now you have a facility you're gonna run. There's private sector situation. You need medical aid. So there is a board of health funders which is called BHF. BHF is just for you to be able to claim with
From
medical
medical
aid.
aid.
Sometimes
Okay.
medical aid pays nurses more than doctors.
What do you mean?
Mm.
Please
The-
explain.
I'm telling you, because we are regarded as more advanced clinical care people. So they know medical aids are quite aware that a nurse will manage high blood pressure well. A nurse will manage HIV quite well than a GP. So your consults are way better than what they pay the doctor. I do have a doctor that I've employed that locums for me for gynae matters. So I know what I'm talking about is when I claim, I know what I see. My consults are bigger than his consults on certain things. So
Yeah.
money is there. You just need to really, really be fight, like you said. Look at your end goal and take it. This is your baby. You gave birth to it in 2018. So you apply for BHF as well. Then you need now to obviously open a facility and you now need to apply for a license for the facility to practice with your licensing department at the provincial level. So
At
at your
depart is
province,
are you applying at Department of Health for that
yep,
license for the
yep,
practice to? Okay.
that, yep. They also come with the what is it, R145 and whatnot to do a walkabout and check the facility if it's so that they give you accreditation now to say they bring their IPC, MNE people from the province. They do an assessment. You actually, yeah. So unfortunately you pay for such things as well, but it's not that bad. Cost for application is about 5,000.
You
Registration is
paid
about two.
where? Put your age.
Yes, you have to pay for that. So they will then come, then they give you a permit. This permit is it lasts for 10 years. So it's same as Netcare. Netcare, we all apply the same. It's the same team that will go and approve a Netcare hospital that needs to open to say do they meet the standards, the required standard for the facility and so forth and so forth. Obviously, if you have staff, you need to register them with UIF, labor, all of those things. You run the business and how you run them. They don't interfere with the running of the business, but the clinical side of the business, depending on what projects also you do. So then you then get to be linked with um, your district coordinator for the programs. So if it's a person that's running a baby clinic, so a person from the district will then get introduced to you to say, Sister Z is doing this. So if it's HIV, you will be then linked with the district coordinator that's dealing with HIV. So then they will then come to you and give you guidelines on how to, if there's updates on ARVs or what so forth and what so forth. They will be the one that will invite you to certain meetings.
Okay.
You are then required to submit statistics monthly or quarterly. Where yeah, they give you their form, so you just capture what you need to capture. Before they used to have MOUs. They're trying
Yeah.
to bring them back. where our clinics as nurses, once you are linked to a hospital under that program that you are doing, if they see that they have a heavy caseload, they can send clients to you.
Okay.
And then, like for me, I do TOPs, so they can send clients for TOPs, and then I will have to claim DOH to pay for the client.
Okay, because I
So we
actually
have a
wanted to ask you to say, is there some sort of partnership? Because I heard you saying you are submitting stats at DOH. So then I wondered to say, then we're not like, what do you benefit from doing?
okay.
I know already your clients have paid you already,
Mm,
but then I
mm.
feel like taking your work and submitting to DOH, it's like an
Yes.
yes.
You get nothing. Unfortunately, nurses get controlled. You know us. Yeah, the thumb is always there. It will never leave us.
Yeah.
I get the thumb. It will never leave you. So we are kind of like we have to, follow certain rules. Unfortunately, but for me, I feel they benefit you somehow because if a client comes to you, maybe for the first time they've been referred by them, even if for now nobody pays our clients, my clients pay directly to me. I have not signed any MOUs with them except just for the licenses and stuff and the meetings. That's the only relationship we have. In the funding, there's no funding. I use my own money to open the clinic. I make it run. It finances itself. We're still waiting. I think Gauteng, they've brought it back, the MOU. So KZN is always Nkosam, the last one, shame band. It's
Is
always
the MOU, is it a good thing or is it not a good thing?
for me it's a good thing. It will I think when they used to have it, the experience that we used to have is when I saw it while I was working for MSSA, which is Maristop South Africa. Maristop had a MOU with DOH, so they will then send clients to Maristop's. Then Maristop's will claim at the end of the month. They used to get family planning from DOH for free, so they can charge clients for administration, but they won't charge the actual like your depot, your overalls, and so forth. So you get certain things. So you might make on your agreement. You can say, okay, fine. If I do this for you, maybe I will then get like you guys. I know a sister that has an HIV an ARV clinic, Sister Sma, she's in Jacobs. She actually, when she takes bloods, she sends them to DOH. So
Okay.
she doesn't send them to private labs. When she takes any specimen, she collects ARVs from DOH.
Yeah,
So
I
she's
think I
running her
wanted
own.
to ask you as well to say the way in Buzanga Kona, the people in the comments, it's like I want to open my own clinic, but you make this sound so fascinating. I wanted to know if do you receive any like
No, not
medication
yet,
from
because
DOH?
I
Okay.
no, not yet. I purchased my own thing. So, like I said, I have not signed any service agreement with them because it's still in the process. Because at some point there was a bit of illegalities that had happened in the past. So that is why some MOUs were stopped. So they are now revising the process. I think they're gonna give them out as a tender, but they said as much as it's going to be a tender, it's going to be a tender that's going to be given to everyone. We're not going to be applying. Hence, they want everybody to be accredited and given that accreditation certificate. So once you have that, so you're guaranteed that when that tender comes, which we don't know when, it will then benefit. But if it does, and it still kind of has a similar benefit as the old what I used to observe when I was working for MSSA, it is good money.
Sure. Guys,
It is
please
good.
send Sister Pumi gifts and let's take it to what 10K. I feel like you are now at the moment I don't have interest in opening a clinic, and I laughed when you said Z you should consider, because a lot of people are saying you need to make money out of this HIV thing.
Mm.
But I feel like the information that you are giving, if I was going to open my own clinic, I feel like you would have like it would benefit me so much. So I'm saying people must send you gifts, because I know there are people here who wants to open their own clinics, and it's the first time I hear that DOH can actually have MOUs with private nurse clinics. I know the MOUs with us, with NGOs, you know, the DOH NGO,
Yeah.
yeah, MOU. And most of the times, the MOU, the DOH MOU with NGOs, DOH is the one that benefits a lot from those MOUs, because we are coming with funding. So the fact that you are explaining that with this particular MOU, actually nurses are gonna benefit from it, it's truly lovely.
Yeah, Simbali is saying that even though you have a permit, yeah, they do like how they do a DOH, where they just come and do inspections and stuff. So you need to ensure that you follow their guidelines, and it's not that hectic. Remember, you're not running a hospital, because somewhere you're gonna be seeing, uh, you've got corners and corners. So you just need to know your medical waste is on point, your IPC is on point. Normally when you're renting a what did I do now? No. I don't wanna leave the live.
What happened?
Angazi, because I'm technology. I don't know what I did. But anyway, I can't see. Oh, now you're back. Oh Lord Jesus.
But we can
Yeah.
hear you just fine.
Um, okay, like I don't know. All right. Those that are here, they can follow me on Facebook. The clinic page. It's the clinic's name is Precious Women's Reproductive Health Clinic. I think I do have a video of how the clinic looks like, and geez, I hope I do. I think I do. But it's like when you go to, I won't say your doctor's rooms,
Yeah.
where you need a consulting room. Okay, you need a reception. Obviously, you need a consulting room. I have a procedure room because I do procedures. There is a storeroom, toilets, facilities. I have an ultrasound room. Please go do ultrasound, guys. Basong.
Where do we do
You
it?
uh,
The way you said batong.
Yeah, yeah, no, Jobe comes back once in a while. Lalela son. Okay, geez, I have Konje, what's this place? I'll remember. I will, please remind me before we go off. It's 2.3 an ultrasound course. It's a week. Because guys, you know that you can actually we've got post and DOH. Because other things that we fail to do, Tina Bones, we close ourselves into what we do, at the moment, what I'm doing now. And you don't think
In
I
the
can also be a sonographer. You understand? So, like nurses that are sitting at home right now, I was going through DOH post. Like, now, yes, fine, you did your nursing, and maybe because of issues that we have, there's no post. And only posts that I hear are specialist positions, not general nurses positions. But you've got your sonographers, and it's not a hard course to do. And it's still part of what will help you if you want to advance yourself, because you are able to do such things. So these smallinyana courses, they are also very vital and important for you to do. So I also did the NIMARTI and
Sister
did
P, can you please repeat the name of the clinic? Someone wants it.
it's Precious Women's Reproductive Health Clinic. I think on my TikTok though, I do have a video that has a clinic info as well. If they follow me on there is a TikTok page for the clinic as well. I just recently opened it. Oh Lord, guys, I'm so backwards with the technology.
But you're doing
With
well.
these things, I know TikTok is tough, but fit. So I'm even trying to see how I'm going to group the content. Do I do lives? Do I do chats? Because there's a lot of things with SRH that I'm missing in the world that we can share with young women and so forth. But yeah, guys, I've been doing this for 4 years now. It's tough. Let me not put it as out as roses. As the economy hits, it also hits you. Remember, Pella, this is a business. It's your bread and butter.
Mm.
And kunzima to locum for us as nurses, because you want to see your baby, you want to be there all the time. You might be the highly skilled person as well in the team, so which means you have to be in the facility every day. So finding a locum job, it means you are overextending yourself, minimizing his cuts with your family, but it is doable. And it might sound, yeah, there's money, medical aid, blah, 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 but also there's this business side of it where you have to market. You have to put yourself out there. You need to, there's doors that will close. Remember, Pela Unes, Konje Homesta, you coming to infiltrate the GP world.
Sure.
Konje. Yeah.
Mm.
You're going to have people coming and saying, what is it that you do here? They want to see your permits. Are you even legal? Because obviously you're a threat. Where I am, I have 7 GPs around where I
No.
am. Yeah. But ke ugele ufohla khona kunjalo. Because, and then you've got clients. Remember that day when we had a chat, they will come and ask for a doctor at your clinic. And then you need to now, hey, give a 10 minute lecture to the client to say, no, man, this is a nurse clinic, not a doctor's clinic. And you find that umuntu ufuna ukwenza i-pap smear or umuntu ufuna ukwenza i-ultrasound, and because they're not, the community ayisazi, we are still sibancane, but it's a market that is still available. So I know ukuthi because there's no funding that we receive anyway, it's quite hard for people just to up and get money to open a clinic, because you really also need to market where you're going to place it. I mean, my clinic at first, it was in the Bluff because that's where I stay.
Okay.
People that are on the live who knows Durban, they know it's a white suburb. It's a bit quiet, so it wasn't doing as well. But when I did my research and looked at my books, I could see that most of my clients are coming from the township. They're coming from Mlazi, they're coming from Guamashu, they're coming from all sorts. So I said, okay, which is a place that you need to then do research as well. Don't just think, okay, Nimali, maybe some people have money. Okay, where I'm just going to open a clinic. You need to find a good spot
Location.
where there's foot traffic, where you see also the need. So also try, you said something earlier that I don't delete daily, I don't do this, that. I focus on one thing.
Yeah.
It also helps to focus and be able to grow your brand, because if you're going to do a whole lot of things like Mina, if you are Z, you have a clinic, a PHC clinic, and probably Shampe, you are a different section. You know, my township has sections about A, B, what. I'm in V section, you are in Z section. And the client that comes that's coughing, I'm not gonna see to that client. I'm gonna refer that client to you. That is
Collaboration.
how I operate. When you have a client that I do, don't say, oh, because we're desperate today, nobody has walked in. Now the client is asking for TOP. Now you know, okay, I need to give this client cytotec. Then you go, because that's what GPs does. And it comes back to us, because when they have issues, then they'll be like, oh, Sister Lamini, I have a client that I've referred to you, blah, 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 blah. And then when the client comes and you're doing a consult, this child has gotten 20 cytotext already, nothing has happened, in teaser, and
Michael.
it's frightening. So
What?
for you guys, take what, yes. Oh no, this is what I'm saying. I need guidance on that clinic page. So we talk about these topics, guys. And I know it's a very controversial thing, but unfortunately, when I see, you know, it's there, you
Definitely.
know? Yeah, it's there. Angikwazi mina ukufunda ama-lokhuzana, oh
Comments.
yeah.
I wanted to. Hi, Chichi. People were requesting. I don't know if they want to say something. Yo, but what you just said scared me. Uti baba nika Baba nika
Yeah,
masai to
maybe let's get some questions, or somebody to also join, so that I don't go everywhere. It's good to engage and stuff. I just need to,
Hi,
yeah,
Chichi.
I'll share with you. I don't know, but I'm sure that they are everywhere. In terms of the ultrasound training,
Okay.
it's quite interesting. Nurses are allowed to train for ultrasound, And I know some of the ultrasound companies also offer. I know there's the one in Pretoria where I got my ultrasound from. Renta Sona, they do offer ultrasound training as well, and they are accredited. In Durban, there's also Impilo. They also do ultrasound trainings, and I think it's Med Park. Also, they do ultrasound trainings. So do those smallinyana courses. They do help. Even when when you locum in certain places, you can become, one of their favorite, because when you are exposed in doing these things that are kind of known to only doctors can do them, which is really not the truth.
Mm.
um you can do your basic ultrasound. You don't need to be, your really truly diagnostic ones, because those ones will they need reporting. But your confirmation of gestation, doing a basic gynae ultrasound to detect fibroids and cysts, your pregnancy ultrasound, because right now your age has a challenge of sonographers. So pregnant women are required to do ultrasounds once in their pregnancy. So they send them to me. So this is how I'm getting business. But if I didn't do this, I wouldn't. Now I have over 40 clinics in the township that sends clients to do an ultrasound. Yes, you're going to see that patient maybe once, but however, if you treat them nicely, then they're going to come after delivery to do post care. Then they do family planning by you. They end up doing pap smears by you. So you develop a relationship, then they refer next and the next and the next client. So it's quite doable. Please, guys, join and ask a request, Batong.
Uh, I,
Why
I,
I'm talking too
I
much.
want to ask a question. How do you
Mm.
determine prices to charge? I'm asking this because I've had a few young nurses around me opening private clinics of recent, right? And when I look at the prices that they charge for their services, they differ. I don't know, like, is it a province thing? I think I would also like to add, I think it's Mbali K. I don't know if she's, yeah, let me send her a request, because she runs a clinic here in Gauteng. But I want to know, how do you charge to say, okay, my consultation fee is going to be this much? How do you guys decide on that? Because I saw a very huge variety. This other one charged, let me say the other one charged 5 rands, and then the other one charged 10 rands. And then I wondered, like, as a nurse, how do you determine to say, okay, this is going to be my consultation fee? Do we have anything regulating us?
Not really.
Okay.
Not really. For me, I kind of like, you look at where you're placing your clinic, obviously. I think most of the prices also ranges of where you are. So I save a community that is a township community. You cannot have prices that are ridiculous, but also you look at how, because like we purchase our own medication, we pay our own rent, we pay our own staff. You need to also have insurance for the business. You also need to have, there's a lot that you pay for as a private I get my salary from there because I don't have any other job, so you also look into that as well.
Let me
um
ask you, did you give yourself a salary cut from your
yeah,
previous job?
a very big one.
That's why I'm so scared of business.
Yeah, a very big one, but you learn to adjust because
Yeah.
at the end of the day, you want to grow. When you say to me the other day, do I see myself opening another facility? Definitely, yes. I would like to give you opportunities. Even right now, I was actually looking. Other people will say, "All right, now, Sister Pumi, you have a clinic. Does it mean you will never be able to work?" Guys, you can leave the clinic, leave it registered under umawako, your child, whoever. Hire people, go back and work. Just declare it with your age that it's yours. That's the only thing they want, because this is why doctors have private practices, and you
And
see
they
them
still
a
work.
casualty working. You declare that you have it, as long as, yes. So it's a challenge, but yeah,
Someone said,
Genzek.
Sister Pumi, in order to open a private clinic, how many years of experience do they want you to have?
Nobody cares. I hope I answered well.
You
Nobody
did?
cares. That is not in any of the form of how many years do I have. None. I did not, there's no such. So as long as when you know what is it that you want to do and you follow the correct guidelines, and you conform to all our nursing council, all those things. Because when they come, that's all they want. They want to see your SANC receipt, your PHF, this, that. Then they do a walkabout, check, do like how they do in the hospital, check your drug book, check your drugs count. That is what they do. Look at, okay, your consulting room, the privacy, and you're discarding your medical waste, everything. You've got an MOU with an ambulance, you have an MOU with your medical waste company, you have your SOPs, you have, where do you report your incidents, there, those things, they want those things in the ward, your incident files, your what, that's what they want.
Would you recommend two nurses to collaborate to open a clinic? Would you?
As long as they trust each other because there's money at the end of the day. That's all. I
That's
think
what
it's
I'm
all.
thinking.
Yeah, it's all about the goal, and it's all about transparency. And if you both of you guys are gonna be, I'll advise first 2 years, Nkosi yami, be fully involved. Like physically be fully there. Give it. There is one of the other nurses I'm mentoring. She did psych. She was a psych nurse since she qualified, and she was a psych nurse at Netcare. So she came to me. She said, "No, Yazi, I'm fall. Can you assist me?" She did the skin, Ishon Bandla, these
Oh
glow
yeah,
things.
ndiyayibona
Yeah.
leka Dr. Nandi Phama Kutumani.
Nayo-ke ya wakudumana. So yeah, so I've assisted her opening her facility. It's up and running. So
Wow.
she's in Sydenham. She went and did the course. So when's in Toyak. So she's not doing anything that is nursing related, but it's something that in nursing yake is helping, because obviously the drugs that she orders, the drugs that she needs to give to patients, she understands them better because she's got a medical background. So it's all of those things that sing as valeli in the stereotype ukuthi unesi uyasebenza 7 to 7. I start work when I want to start work. I finish when I want to finish work. I work when I can wait for my assistant to say there's a client. I can leave for work at 11.
Yeah.
If it's just that, yeah, you need to manage your time, but also remember the responsibility of owning a business. You
Yeah.
need to be there. You need to also teach your team that you need to be present at work. There are quiet days where nobody walks in. That's gonna depress you, but it shouldn't, make you lose the fight, because the economy in Jobinjin, I was still trying to say that things are tough. So obviously when usunemali, ungaqali ke phela manje you go bold, ushintshe imoto yakho buhamba
Land make Mercedes.
That's all
yabo. So
right.
it's,
Staphumelele.
yeah. Hi,
Hi,
Lady.
let
Hi,
me,
Julia.
Mbali, just before you can come in, Sister Pumi, you don't need a PhD specialty, right?
No.
Okay. Let me take Sister Mbali. Hi, Sister Mbali.
Hi, Sister Z. Hi, everybody on the call. How are you doing?
We are good. How are you? I ambushed you without even asking, and I sent you a request.
Not a problem. I was actually excited when you said yesterday that there's gonna be this kind of talk.
Yeah.
Um, I'm from KZN in a town called Newcastle. And I always tell my friends that the best thing I ever had to do for myself was actually come to Gauteng. Not that I cannot do this back home, but it's sort of like open up my eyes to a lot of opportunities that we have as nurses that we are not tapping into. And part of that was actually opening the private practice. So I currently have 3 private practices in
Okay, okay.
Pretoria.
I was about to say, just for someone who just joined us now and they don't know why I picked you from the comment section, because I picked you because I was seeing how you were interacting with people and your comments, and then I realized you opened your own clinic. So that's why I added you. So I was about to say, just give us a background of like where you are, where you're from.
Okay, so yeah, I'm based in Pretoria. When I first opened my clinic, it's as Stapumelele have said, it is important that you actually find your niche, right? You already are interested in opening a private practice, but what are you passionate about? And sort of like nail it down, because you can really be an all-rounder, but nail it down to exactly what is it that you want to offer, and what are how are the services actually needed in the area that you're at. So when I was mentored into the business, I was actually working as an infection control manager in one of the private hospitals, and I would see this lady that would come in and just like, okay, I'm just checking on my clinic and all of that, because I was actually also responsible to check if her clinic was actually sort of like compliant, because it was
Like,
within the hospital. Yeah.
mm, mm,
So I then asked her, like, out of curiosity, what is this? Tell me exactly what you do and all of that. And she told me, and I sort of like followed her up and, found out all the information that I needed to find out, which is what is encompassed in my ebook actually.
okay.
So um in the area that I was at, there was a huge need of sort of like mobile services and antenatal classes and postnatal classes, because I had a lot of gynecologists that were actually my my acquaintances, the people that I've worked with for years before I actually opened my private practice. And I think also having been in the clinical space, it helps you because you've already built relationships. But so by the time you open your clinic, they already know that you are there. Then they've seen, they actually have worked with you, let's say in maternity and all of that, and they actually know how you work, your work ethic. Um, and this is what I always emphasize is the integrity that we need to uphold, and the respect that we need to uphold for our profession, right? There's yeah, there's
True,
actually people
Mbali.
that
True, Mbali.
yeah, that's actually
What you're saying is, sorry, Mbali, to cut you in.
no problem.
I
Hmm.
think on the 2 lives I've joined Z, I've always made you realize, Uguti, we need to bring back respect to the
True.
nurse's name.
Mm,
How we carry ourselves, how we do things, and how we treat patients and how we speak to them, regardless of their stature, how they're paying you, how they're not paying you. That will bring back trust, which also brings back clients to you. They
mm,
will leave a doctor to come and be serviced by you because of how you treat them and how you give them time and respect. So that you do it by respecting yourself and your profession first, and do your work as how it's supposed to be done, irregardless.
sure.
Carry on, Bal.
That yeah, thank you so much, Sister Pumeli. Yeah, that's basically it. Being in a private practice mean you're actually giving your patients private service. I'm not saying public nurses should do otherwise, but
Mm,
I almost every time I have to do something in my practice or how I conduct the business is I put myself in people's shoes. How would I want, what would I want to actually get when I get to a private practice? You know,
mm,
I left the public sector because I feel like they're overburdened. I would come there in the morning and leave in the afternoon, sometimes not even get what I actually came there for because of shortness of resources as well, right? So
mm,
if you are going to be running a private practice, number one, as I said, integrity, uphold the profession up high and actually give the service that you're supposed to be giving. I get clients that I would like, let's say a mother comes for a 6 weeks immunization, right? I will sit down and explain to them how the growth of the child in terms of the weight and height translates to the road to head chart, right? If you remember 5 years ago, um, we had road to head charts that were pink and green, right? Which
yeah.
were basically for a boy and a girl. And they were more on the side of actually letting the the professional know exactly what to do. But
Mm,
they've actually changed that now. It's the same card with a boy and a girl. But now the booklet is actually about teaching the mother or the
yeah.
parents as to exactly what they should be looking out for when they take care of their child, um based to the age and everything of that, sort of like giving them an idea exactly what to look out for when the child is at a certain age. So if you don't explain that to the mother, when they come to you. They don't know that. And I sort of like see parents actually almost amused and actually so surprised that I actually
Taking
happened to
time.
explain that to them, because then you know, so it actually shows you the standard that we actually are giving the patients out there, that the bare minimum, you know, things that we actually should be doing are taken as luxury now when parents come there. So yeah, so my niche was when I started in 2017, I launched my company, and I actually invited these gynaes and these pediatricians that I knew that I would be working closely with. And so I actually had to hit the ground running, because before I even started the company, I had patients already lined up because of the kind of relationships I had with the doctors that I work with.
So
So
when
fast
you are
forward to,
saying when you are saying the doctors you work with, do you mean the doctors who have private clinics around the area that you've opened yours, or you mean private doctors at the hospitals? When you are saying the doctors you work with, who are you talking
yeah,
about?
private doctors and the hospitals. As Sister Pumelele have said, you've seen doctors that are actually working in the hospital, whether it's in public or private sector, but they actually also have their own private practice.
So you went
And
to
they
introduce yourself to the doctors who have opened private practices in the area that you opened yours.
So basically with me is it might be important for someone who doesn't have, you know, pre-existing relationships. I remember for me, I had worked with these doctors in maternity, in when I was now the infection control nurse, and they sort of like knew me and how I work. So when I told them that I'm actually opening a private practice, they came with their needs to me, that actually, Mbali, if you can actually do this kind of services, because they don't like gynaes don't have time to do antenatal classes. They don't have time to sit and actually explain to the mother, this is what you should expect, this is what you should do. So I was already offering that as a private provider for Mediclinic, to actually come and do these classes for them. So by the time I actually opened my private practice, it was easy for these doctors that could see me doing these talks and health education to come back and say, Mbali, please do this for my patients. So those are the doctors I'm talking about. They would actually send their new mothers or whatever that are pregnant to my practice, and with pediatricians as well. When when they see the child after birth, they already set up an appointment for both them, their practice and mine. So 6 weekers come to the pediatrician and come to me. So that's how you retain those patients. Just imagine retaining a child from birth up to the age of 12 years and above, right? Because
Sure,
they have this relationship with you now.
sure. That's so lovely. I heard, did you say you've opened 3 clinics now?
Yes, I have 3 practices now.
So when you open 3 practices, are you opening them under one company name?
Yes,
So
they are
it's
under
like
one company name.
branches.
Yes, so
Yeah.
I my company name is Beautiful Beginnings. One practice, the mother practice is in Pretoria Central in Louis Pasteur Hospital, inside Louis Pasteur Hospital, and the two other are with partnership with a GP, because basically I focus on maternal and pediatric health. That's
Okay.
my biggest focus. Yes.
Lovely, lovely. Thank you so much for sharing. Guys, do you have any questions? Please request Betunan. Didn't expect Apa, and I don't want when I stop this live, people are in my DMs asking me what to do.
And
Um,
What
also, what I want to emphasize as well is, when you get into business, it is important for you to actually distinguish your personal income, or your personal finances to your business finances.
must be tough,
Because
ne?
yes,
pardon?
Mbali, tell them you must pay yourself. Pay a
Yes, you must
salary.
pay yourself a
Don't
salary.
tomorrow see a Louis Vuitton bag and go swipe your clinic card there. Ah,
Sis Mbali, why are you attacking my personality?
it,
I'm so
it was not
sorry,
intentional.
Mbali.
They
Yes,
they they say that the guilty are always afraid, sisters. So you've just exposed yourself to me. So this lecture is for you as well. Please,
yeah.
guys, separate that, and not just for for your mindful expenditure, but because also we are guided by laws in South Africa, so you are also accountable to tax laws. So SARS will come for you if you do not
Wait,
do the
guys,
right
wait,
thing.
wait, guys. Let me hear you correct.
Z, let me laugh. It's a feminine funk. I think she's saying the Louis
It's a
Vuitton
business
bag is a
expense. I
business
want to say this.
expense.
Guys, wait, guys. I'm gonna cruise. And I ask Mbali and Sister Pum can ask. So you guys are saying like, if I don't have petrol money, it's not the business's baby.
Njani? Njani, because I need you pay yourself a salary. In that salary, you know your petrol cost
Yeah,
for a month.
you have to exactly. Wait, are you going every month to your employer to ask for an advance for petrol, sisters?
For petrol money.
Rude. You guys are rude.
So yeah,
Yeah,
it is
guys.
really very important that
Mm.
guys, you have the skill, you are qualified to be running these clinics, and also there's people who are
You can
asking a
do
lot if you
anything.
should have a specialty or not. So let's put it this way: if you are going to be a general nurse without the midwifery and all of that, obviously you're not going to be able to do midwifery services, right? But you still can open a private practice in that sense. Um, yeah, so going back to BHF as well, Sister Pumelele, we also want to emphasize that it is your responsibility to go back to the funders and see exactly what codes you should be using as a nurse to claim. That's number one. And in your codes, just please write notes. Nursing, wherever you go, is all about evidence, guys. It is going to be your word against what is actually out there. So if you're going to claim to the medical aid, make sure you have a patient file written exactly what you have done for the patient so that your claim correlates to what you've actually done for the patient. Because at some point they are going to come for you and then they're going to leave you. They're going to leave you until you have millions that you have claimed for them, and they will come back and say, actually, ma'am, you owe us a half a million. One, two,
Oh,
three, and you cannot
so
produce the right documentation to actually substantiate what you have actually
so
claimed
Mbali,
for.
do they come like every now, even if like maybe after a few years, do they come to do like inspection verification of documents and stuff like that?
I think it
Yes,
all
not
depends.
it's not a definite. And number two, they don't have a specific time that they would come at a certain year. But what I'm saying is
If there is an
integrity, going back
alarming
to
trend in
integrity.
town that they notice
Mm,
Yes,
from your
yes,
facility.
Z.
yes,
And
absolutely. Because
guys,
you are, as
Mbali,
Sister Pumela said, we get paid a lot when it comes to how the claims that we do for medical aids. But also, do not go and claim a lot just for the sake of the fact that the funders pay a lot. It should correlate to actually what you have done for the patient.
Okay, I hear you guys.
yeah. So it's a similar situation. Just to add on Bali's Glokuzan, how your record keeping in the ward. You
Yeah.
understand?
Yeah.
So if, if you're honest to yourself, you're gonna be able to be honest to your business. You're
True.
gonna be approached. Remember, we black people, guys, sibamnyama, we know our tricks and whatever. You're gonna be approached yini lente, what they call it Mbali, where people want you to claim on medical aid and they're not sick, and then you must give them money and what and so
Oh,
guys,
yeah.
you
Yes,
you you
yes, you're
you,
gonna be approached by such,
you're gonna be
especially when it's
approached
towards the
by
year
people.
end.
Yeah. So you need to ensure, when I said at the beginning, this is your baby. So don't do anything to abuse your baby. Say treat it
Mhm.
as your baby girl, how you nurture your baby girl, how you protect it. Because you're a
Absolutely.
competition. I did say that at the beginning. We are a competition. As much as, yes, like she said, the doctors that we work with or we have relations with, it's people maybe they were interns when we were working for DOH, so we know each other. So when you grow, those people are happy for to see Z where you are at the moment. They are actually happy for you now. But there are people that when you come, they've had a practice for 35 years, and then now there is this clinic that is just there, and when their practices gets quiet, they're not happy. So they can actually even
Yeah.
send trick
Mhm.
you with sending patients that will ask for certain things, and they will report you. So
Definitely,
you
definitely.
really need to be really careful. Not everybody will accept you, but you also need to stand your ground because, guys, you're professionals.
Yeah.
What you do, you are just taking what you have and putting it as a skill that will make you money. So respecting what you do and following your guidelines and doing your work as how you're supposed to do it, it will speak for you. So whenever they come or there's a trend of sick notes that you are giving and selling, you're not going to be
Mm,
caught up because
mm.
you need to say, I don't do that. Because the sick notes that are
Yeah.
giving the patient, I have a copy of a sick note in the patient's file. So if you come in to buy a
Oh,
sick note, where's your
absolutely.
file? Where's your file? Because
Oh,
even companies will call you to say, no, man, we're seeing a lot of sick notes. I remember during looting, um, my sick notes were looted.
yeah.
Oh God.
Yeah,
So
I remember your
oh,
clinic was broken
was looted.
into.
Yeah. Yeah. So I was looted. They cleaned me out. So I had to restart afresh. See now if I bought Louis Vuitton's girl, where will be the money to restart?
There's no need for you guys to attack my personality.
No, I'm joking, my friend.
Definitely,
Yeah,
definitely.
but you so I had to go and make an affidavit at a police station because I didn't want any company to come close. And I've recently learned that lucky enough, shame the doctor was not involved. However, his practice was also looted and his sick notes were stolen. So they stole the sick notes and the stamp. This guy
Yes.
was working for DeFi, DeFi, where they make appliances and stuff.
Yes, yes.
So this guy had the sick notes. So he was writing sick notes for his colleagues and charging them. But now when the HR kept on seeing every second employee is bringing a sick note from Dr. Z, they went for Dr. Z. And likely because you had records that Dr. Z was looted. So now they had to go down and investigate where are these people getting the sick notes from. So you get stuff like those things that happen. So with medical aid as
Mm.
well, if you was just gonna be claiming "Hayi, ngoba nakuma wami as medical aid or aunt as medical aid, you even forget now you're claiming a pap smear kwingane yomfana no 16 years because phela
Hey,
wena
good
nithi
thing.
Yeah, so but guys, I can see a lot of people are interested
Mm.
in these clinics. Maybe
You know what
it's time
am I
consuming.
appreciating? Let me
Mm,
tell you what I'm appreciating about the two of you and what you guys are saying. You guys are literally now teaching people how to actually run the business, not to just open it,
Yes.
but also the principles of running the business. And I think that's what one needs to know, because sustainability is more important than starting something, right? The
mm.
ability of sustaining it's actually more important. So I think I'm very appreciative of the fact that you guys are actually giving business tips as well.
Yeah,
Mm.
is it Mavlio? God, please
Yes,
ungixolele
Mr.
if I'm
Leo. He's asking about our
pronouncing it.
startup capitals.
I think for me, I'll answer for myself. It depends on the facility that you want and what is it that you want. Remember, Pela, we abombali nabozi nabopumi basa young, so you're not gonna you also you yeah we are.
It must be
So
aesthetically
so you
appealing.
you 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 can gonna look, posh kinda, So is that you can, because us with furniture and girls and whatnot. So you'll want, those cute things that will cost you money, but it really doesn't have to be that way. As long as the place is clean, it's attractive. And like
Mm.
Umbali said, at the end of the day, it's how you treat patients, going an extra mile. When when a client comes to me and now when we know that women have issues with, I'm gonna give examples also with what I do. They have issues with the depot and the PV bleeding that continues, and when they go to the local clinic, because of the lines and nurses being overwhelmed and our colleagues are over, everything is overcrowded, nobody has time. They just give you the overall if they have it, and then they're like, take this and whatever, whatever. So when when you're in your own space, you get to have the time to sit down with the person and explain, go as if going to explain the hormonal changes and the causes of this, for them to get them to understand, because it also prevents them from going to buy things over the counter and waste money. That little
Oh
10 minutes,
yes.
yes, that little 10 minutes, like
Yes, Kumarela, sorry to
said.
cut you there.
Mm,
While you are at, making an example of family planning, I'm also reminded of the fact that, um, guys, it's really important that you actually know what you are doing. With us especially, we are talking about this Nazi yesterday, that because we have done the comprehensive course where it sort of like feels like there's not enough time to do everything in one go, because the 4 years is just not enough for us to do these things. So you might not really be you might know exactly what family planning is, but might not be really in depth deep familiar with how it's run. So it's important for you, like, you would get patients that I've never given birth before, first time taking in contraceptives, and they are put on depot. Depo is not for a person that has not had a child before. Those kind of
mm.
niche riches. Like, you would also get a mother that is breastfeeding. Microval is good because it's usually quite called one pill or something like that. But
It's a
it
single
has,
hormone.
yeah,
Mm.
it has a single hormone which is good for a breastfeeding mother. So please just having people like us who are already in the business connect with us, so that we can, mentor you into
Let
doing
me
this. We can actually
let me
hold your
be
hand into
wait,
doing this.
Mbali, let me be honest, ne? Not everyone is
Mm.
like you and Sister Pumi, guys. Honestly speaking, people are so stingy. And I think that's why I started this platform, because I needed us as nurses to come together and help one another. Guys, nurses are stingy with information. And I'm not talking about you who are here. But Sister Pumi, I
Mm.
don't know if you guys have ever experienced that. Where you asking a nurse a mere thing, you saying, hey, what do they ask at the interview at the company that you are working for? And the nurse does not want to tell you.
Mm. That is so true.
Yes.
For me, I
No,
always say, it's important to pay it forward. I don't know, I would say I was fortunate enough to get people who are so kind-hearted, and I've learned a lot from them, people who are just selfless with their time. Sometimes I don't even know how to repay the people that are in front of me, right? And for me, they always tell me, but you don't have to do anything for me. So because I cannot do anything for them, and they've done it, out of their pure heart, I'm paying it forward. So hence I introduced the ebook, because I want everybody to have,
Tell us about
a
this
basic
ebook. Tell us
understanding.
about
Right.
this ebook. Tell us about this ebook.
Okay, so my ebook basically explains from step one, where exactly do you start after being qualified as a nurse? Which departments do you go to? The contact details of those departments. People are exploited out here. You don't need to go and pay somebody's company 1.8 for them to open a CIPC company for you. That's ex-
Well,
that's ex-
that time it's
that's basically
250.
exactly, it's just ridiculous. Things that
it's just
that
it's
you
just
you
your
should be
time.
actually putting
Oh, guys,
yes, things that you should be
also,
actually putting towards your capital, you are now paying
Mbali,
other people for just mere
M-
things that are costing less than 200 rand.
Mbali,
So my ebook
a quick one.
explains, yes,
Sorry, let me break you la while you're still there, and because somebody kept on asking about funding. I with age, you know that we have CEDA and why whatever what you call that, why ban NCA
NYDA,
something
NYDA,
YDA.
yes.
Guys, if you go there, they will help you open a business for free, mahala. You just pay the 175 rand. They will help you fill the form. They will submit it for you, because those are the programs. And some of those, they even, I think because it goes with age, it cuts off, I think it's 35 years, Mbali. So if you're below 35, those are places that when you want to open a business and you don't want to be scammed, that are there. Social development has
Mm.
put them there. You go there. They even have funding to mark for maybe for marketing. They can maybe give you a startup for banners, or do lokhuzana, what you call it when you want. your adverts and stuff. So they do those things. People just need to do research and so forth. So some of those, if your age is still under
Someone says, what
35,
if
you
you are
can get
above
money.
35?
Ay, mali yakho no.
Unfortunately, the youth of South Africa goes up to the age of 35. But I've seen
Mm,
certain certain companies like the NYDA also have, extended to 40 on some programs. But
mm.
unfortunately, when
Mbali,
you also
Where
become
do
an
we
old.
get the ebook from? Where can people
Okay,
get the ebook?
I will send the link here. Yeah, it's my online shop. It's only 100 Rand, guys, but I promise you, it has a lot of information that you need. And I have a support, what do you call this, WhatsApp group, where I continuously now give you support after you've gotten the basics, because obviously there's going to be follow-up questions or where you are stuck,
Yeah.
and I'm able to help. I hope Nezzy and Pumelele at some point we can actually find a space where we can, even have, even if it's not virtual, physical things where we actually impart this information to our fellow nurses, because the economy is very bad, guys. So no one
I
is
said
coming.
to
No
them,
one. Absolutely no one.
I said to my TikTok friends that I want to see how these lives are turning out. If really they are attending the lives, if they do attend the lives, then I'm going to host a gala dinner where I'm going to invite you guys to come and we speak. It's probably going to be an entire whole day event, and then we have a gala dinner at the end of the day. But I want to see people attending the lives first for me to be convinced that I need to bring the event to the physic. Let them show us if they can come to the lives. And then if they can come to the lives, I'm definitely sending you guys emails inviting you to be speakers and to just share all of this in person with people.
Aye, boy, mom, age is still fine. You just need to fight your way through. Please don't worry about age, ne?
Don't
Nursing
really
has no age.
worry.
Somebody was asking Z here that I'm 40 years. What must I do? Can I still study? Yes, you can. Guys, remember the KFC man got rich, got his millions when he was what, 69, going for 70? That's when, after trying for 99 times, ne? Then he got it right. But yeah, guys, don't worry much about money. Remember, guys, I was still trying to explain that because I know abantu abaningi will be like, "Ooh, okay, fine. Where will I get money?" The most
Also,
expensive thing at the
Movember.
beginning, it's the rental. Obviously, if you're gonna be
Okay.
renting, we have sisters
Mm.
here in Durban that are actually bought containers. You understand? Because remember, Unjani Clinic operates from a container. If you've got friends
What?
from Unjani clinics, yes, their clinics
Hmm.
are those containers. So you can actually even make those containers. Start small. Don't start big. Yes, Umbali has 3 clinics, but she started with one and then it grew.
Yes, I
You
did.
also, yes, you
Yeah.
also start small. There's a nurse that is also running a private practice. She's renting a consulting room and sharing a house with other doctors, with other GPs, where they share a procedure room, a pharmacy, a waiting room, and she has a consult. So you really don't need to really go and have a standalone if you want. You can start small and build up and then get your own space. Get a container. Also, Unjani Clinics is another place. I know the applications are enormous because a lot of people, because it's funded, so there's less
Yeah.
burden on you because there is finance that is coming from Johnson and Johnson. But not everybody will get that opportunity to do that. And Bali, anyway, by the way, why you left in Newcastle? Because you left Abo sister Leah Lapaya. She also has a private practice there.
Oh
But
yes,
anyway,
Sister Leah.
yeah, that's
Um,
my friend.
yeah,
Yeah,
no,
so
I actually left Newcastle before the private practice. I was working for a pharmaceutical company, which is also
oh,
another
okay.
space, guys, that actually does a lot of work and pays actually quite good money for nurses that you should look up for.
Yes, what see Aro are you sure will read Z? She needs to study complete. And Aro Hadi Aro. Khadi, Nkosi yami,
Movenda
please.
has been asking Pume that we actually mentor. I
Yes,
don't
I
know
did.
whether
I
it's a
did.
she or her.
I did.
Yeah.
I
I
did. I
think,
did.
guys,
I did
please don't
say.
hesitate. I think people must not hesitate to follow you on TikTok and directly
Yeah,
DM
please
you,
follow
right?
us so
Yes,
that
yes,
we can share.
absolutely.
Like me, we've shared our clinic names. You can always I'm on Facebook, I'm on Instagram. The clinic has pages on Facebook, on Instagram, and TikTok. You can also Phumelele Dlamini on she's on all my platforms. If you can't find me, you can find me under Z's because I am Z's
Account.
everywhere. I'm on
Yeah.
on all of our accounts, so you will
Hmm.
definitely find me. Yeah, but it's Precious Women's Reproductive Health Clinic. Um, uh, please don't, on TikTok, there's also a Precious Woman's Nail Bar. If you find that, it's fine. You can always also communicate with that if you find, because sometimes the nail bar pops up before the clinic because it's older. So you can always but even here I'm always on my
Hmm.
phone, so I'll be able to respond
Yeah.
and try to help as best as I can. So like I said, get start small. The
Mm.
capital is guided with what you're required to do. You
Yeah.
will obviously have the list of things that you know are required in a facility.
Mm.
It will be easier when you know what is it that, like we said, know what is it that you want to do. If it's PhD, you know what a PhD clinic or a PhD consulting room in a clinic looks like, what it has
Mm,
or what it
mm.
should have. So if you don't know, go visit a PhD clinic or a friend of yours that works there. Ask them to give you a list. They're normally planted at the back of the door where it's a list where you
Yeah.
tick. There's an exam bed, there's a table, there's a chair, there's a stethoscope, there's these things that you use at work that you know that you will require when you are consulting and assisting a client. Those things can be bought. We've
Mm.
got medical supplies companies where you can buy everything in one place. You don't need to shop around. You understand? So some
Absolutely,
of the things you
Pume.
actually get from pharmacies. You get your BP machines from pharmacies. You get your glucometer machine. Sometimes, yeah, when you like when we've worked with other people, you get to meet AMA reps and from pharmaceutical companies. Some of the things they give you for free, they'll come and give you BP machines for free and so forth and so forth. But you know the requirement, the basics are there. So you can't have a consulting room without a couch. It needs to be private. So there has to be a door. And you know those small things. There has to be a sink for infection
I
control
think, yes,
purposes.
yes, that's very
Yes, there has
important.
to be waste disposal. So there's Compass, there's a lot of these waste disposal companies, and that doesn't cost you money. They just request, they tell them this is who I am. They'll send you a form, you complete the form, you then develop a service level agreement with them. Then they will start collecting waste. Then you can order your stuff. Then you know you've got your shops, you've got your medical waste,
Yeah.
you got your boxes, the things that we work with in even in the wards. Even if you're from the ward, look at what you have
Mm.
in the ward. Those are the things you will need in your clinic. Those, if you have a telephone line, have a landline. If you can have a landline, because that kind of gives your
Mm.
business a bit of stability, because everybody's running
Mm-hmm.
businesses on cell phones, and there are some of them
Mm.
are scrupulous. So it's better for you to,
Yeah.
having a landline saying you have a fixed address kind of situation, because a landline needs to be attached to a fixed address, so you're easily located, so it kind of builds trust. So don't think of too much. Like I said, they don't, with the licensing department, they really don't punish you much, especially with the facility structure, because it wasn't built by you, but
Yeah.
you are renting it. As long as you're gonna make the flow make sense. So if you have to make divisions, you need to make the flow make sense. The client walks in, reception, da
Oh,
da
thank you
da
so
da
much,
da,
ma'am.
Mm.
walk out. You get my point. So
Yeah.
this is how you do it. And then the most basic thing is your cleanliness, your tidiness. You create your own uniform. You teach your staff how to take care of themselves. They look good. Clients are attracted by that, you know and clients are attracted by that, and word of mouth goes a long way in our business, because nurses are not trusted. Abantu angithi abasifuni, Nkosi yami, namaqhokusethu atshekile. They don't want us.
Ah,
So So you get those compliments. Oh, sister, hey, I'm no longer gonna be going to that clinic. I'm gonna be coming to you. When you always have a smile. You even remember that my daughter went to
Yes.
school,
Mm.
that my daughter had a first day at school. Try and remember just this one thing, compliment your client on their hairstyle, on their nails. They want those things. That's when they look at what type of a nurse are you? Why are nurses not like you? Not because nurses are horrible. We become
Mm.
so invested in the overflow and the stresses got your age that we lose the personal connection with with my
Yes, for
patient. We
me.
lose that personal connection. So that is why when bengena laphaya bangena already gun blazing, because balindele ukuthi now you are gun
Mm.
blazing. So me tell them Bali, they walk in gun blazing naktina, but then you just kill them with a
Yes.
smile. You're like, chill, what's up? What's wrong? You? What's
Manje,
that?
manje at your age when they walk in gun blazings, not to keep on my AK-47, it
Say,
becomes
Yo,
a
ngithatha
war.
ama-AK, Sister
let me
Z.
tell you
Ngithatha
something.
ama-AK.
I will give you a very, very recent, like a yesterday's example, guys. You'll be so shocked. So my general assistant, so she collects chronic. So she was off yesterday. She had to go to the clinic. So at the clinic, she also has this favorite nurse, Abatolanayo. I don't know what happened yesterday. So she met this other one, and then she wanted something for ulcers. Gailey had no time. Today, the first thing when she walked in to the at the practice, Yongi Dikwe. Ooh, I did not find my face. I found this horrible, horrible. I'm like, no, Pela. No, guys, why other nurses cannot be like you? You know, a person that she first thing, what must I do, sister? Because whenever you have a client, when you close the door when you are consulting, when I close the door, she asked me why I'm closing the door. And I'm like, yo. I'm like,
Funk says
yeah.
it's Petama Bazooka.
Yeah, yeah. So yeah, guys, I think I'm not saying, but I think we can also go back to, go back to rebuild nje from. This is
Our
why I even miss
profession.
mentoring. I miss mentoring like what you're doing, Z, because I could be proud. Like now, I will say a client will come to me requesting a termination and they cannot afford it, and they can't even afford the basic. I can give them a discount. I'm human. I understand the situation, but there's a point where I cannot go lower than that. You understand? I will also like say, okay, you can go to Prince Msheni. Actually, it's free. You understand? Oh no, I don't want to go to Prince Msheni. Oh, nurses back on. I'm like, Lalela, the nurse that is at Prince Msheni TOP clinic, I trained her. She's similar to me.
Sure.
You understand? So I'm proud
Yeah.
because yes, I'm proud to say that because we get to that point where I'm proud to say we there are a lot of there's guys who 10% probably that's badness is ukuthi
Yeah,
nje phela
true.
one A
True.
pool
Mm,
it really kills
Sister Pumi,
everybody else.
and
you know, I visit facilities, ne?
Mm,
I don't have a name tag. I don't wear a name tag. And when I
mm,
do facility visits, I don't dress the way I dress when I'm going to the office or I'm going to do training. I dress in a standard that allows me to look like a community member. I will tell you this for free, particularly in Ekurhuleni, the district that I'm supporting. I go to various facilities. I walk in and I don't get attitude. They don't even know who I am. I leave my bag in my car. I don't carry no diary. I just walk in with my I'm a pash pash one was a Soviet
mm,
and with
mm,
my torn jeans and a t-shirt, and they don't give me attitude. I honestly
mm.
think
mm,
as nurses we've come a long way. As
I'm
nurses
telling
we've
you, it's
honestly
very,
come
it's
a
not a
long
lot.
way.
So they just need the
mm.
reassurance, guys. Good, see, nurses care for you, nurses love you. You also need to understand that certain things that go wrong in hospitals are not nurses' faults. You understand? But it's the way you say it that makes them understand. Good, see, this is not how they are. So the client will actually go to Prince Mission and come back to say, Sister Nyabong, yes, I was treated so well. I was not scared at all. And I
Yeah.
will like say, if you've got a friend that finds themselves in a situation like this and they cannot afford, now you know where to send them when they're gonna get e-service, rights, safe, so that they move on with their lives. So I think sometimes back on, I'm not gonna lie, maybe I will say it, one of the reason I left EDOH was that you will work with people that become so horrible, and you try, OM words used to teach us to say, when your colleague is being, talking back with the patient and they're exchanging words or a relative, call them a duty room and like there's a phone call. That will kind of break that confrontational situation. And then, but the horrible person will eventually learn that trick. But you always ask yourself, good, how guys, this person value is,
You
you
know,
know,
They will
you
learn
and
the
know,
trick.
by
Pume,
just
Sister
being,
Pume,
mm,
I always say to, you will find customers that, patients that will actually come and complain to you of the service they've gotten from our colleagues. It is up to us to actually also protect our colleagues as well, right? So what I
mm,
normally say to them is, you need to understand one thing: nobody wakes up in the morning, unless you are a certain, first
first
agent.
time.
But
Mm,
nobody wakes up and go to work and say, I want to be a horrible person.
mm,
I want to hurt a certain person, right? So yeah, it's really one of those things where, um, sometimes, especially with the kind of times that are in, guys, COVID really affected us a lot, you know. So sometimes it becomes difficult for us to actually leave our personal problems at the door when we actually get into work. But if that actually happens, for me, I don't have to meet you, Sister Z, to know who a patient is talking about, but I will always defend you anyway. Maybe defend is not the correct word, but try to actually bring back ECD of the profession, and just calm the patient down, that you know what, I don't condone such behavior, but please understand that nobody comes to work and say, I want to be rude to people. I also want to touch on I think a lot of people were asking about the
Yes, yes.
pharmaceutical industry. So it goes back to what I was saying, guys. Besides doing what I do as my own boss, I always worked and uphold my profession with integrity. So for me to actually be introduced into the pharmaceutical industry, I was doing my day job as a infection control manager in one of the private hospitals, and I was presenting on a certain antibiotic and things that were like problematic in the hospital. And there was this person that was in the audience. It's a pharmaceutical company that used to sponsor us in terms of my link nurses or my infection control nurses that I had in the units, because obviously as an infection control manager, you become a custodian, and not necessarily that you are physically doing what an infection control nurse should do. So I would always have infection control nurses in respective wards that I will then call on a monthly basis to have a meeting with and just share, best practices. So this woman was in the audience and listening to me. I knew that there was a pharmaceutical company that was actually sponsoring us. And immediately after my presentation, she came to me and said, I need you in my team. I was like, ma'am, I'm not looking. And guys, I was so happy in my work. I love my work. And there's this kind of work that you become so happy you look forward to go to every morning. That's how
Yeah,
I was. That's the space I was
yeah.
at.
you don't go
You know?
upset. I even thought
Exactly.
something lapha yangathi
even even
ayibangithelele
challenges even challenges, you would like bring them on. You're looking forward to be able to be victorious at the end of the day because you have a team and you are also driven. So yeah, this lady said to me, I want you in my team and I'm going to steal you from this company. I said, ma'am, I'm not looking. She pestered me into actually sending my CV. I even gave her, just so she can get off my back. And this lady started explaining to me what exactly I would be doing there, and I was like, okay, I'm an aspiring public health doctor. So if you go to my profile, you would see sister to a journey to being DR, because that's what I now that I'm closer to DR, I'm actually thinking prof. But anyway, that's a story for another day. But yeah, so as I was there, this lady kept on pestering me, and I eventually gave her my CV, and I went for an interview. Guys, I went to that interview unprepared because I was like, I'm getting this lady off my back. But because I I know my work, and I knew exactly what I was talking about, I actually got the job. And when they gave me the offer, they said to me, you need to sit down for this. And I understood after they gave me the offer why they said I needed to sit down, because I literally moved from a certain bar of salary to a whole different thing. And by the time I was actually praying to actually get a house, and I was already calculating in the amounts that I was getting, it means now I'd be 10,000 rand short. And God would just give me a space where I couldn't even had, like, my car allowance alone was paying for my house. My car allowance alone. Okay. So anyway, so when I got to the pharmaceutical industry, what I did, guys, was I was an infection control manager. I was always fighting with doctors when they put patient in wrong medication, or they actually be in a medication for longer than they should be. They don't review results. They take bloods, but they don't look at them. You'd find a patient being in a drug that they are resistant on for a certain number of days, yet their bloods. And it was always a question, then why did you take bloods? What did you want to find out? Because you're not changing the patient. So now I moved into a pharmaceutical space where I am able to actually I was in an infectious diseases department, and in that department, I dealt only with antibiotics and antifungals. So now I'm seeing specialist doctors to actually advise them on the type of drug the type of patient, number one. The advantage for me was I knew the patient, right? So I'm selling a drug to a pediatrician. They can't really, run away from me, because I know exactly the kind of patient that they are looking at, for me to be able to advise them on the type of treatment and the duration of that. With PK/PD studies, that's something that you're going to be trained on. But PK/PD simply means that a drug is designed for a specific disease to work on a specific site for a specific amount of time, right? And
It's
you
simple
need to be
accent.
able to correlate that, yeah. And it also, you need to be able to correlate that with how a person's body would respond to a certain drug. So that's exactly what a nurse would do in a pharmaceutical industry. You would detail doctors, whether it's specialists or GP, because some do spec GPs, but based on the drug and what it can actually do for the patient. And I'm telling you, it was the best 3 years of my life when I was in the pharmaceutical industry, until I decided to go back to private practice.
I actually wanted to ask, so like, do they give you a contract job, or do they work like NGOs? You get a contract job.
No, it's a permanent job. Yes, you get a permanent position. There's also certain levels. I remember, because for me it was my first pharmaceutical job. I should have actually got on to level 1, but I actually jumped to level 3 because of the kind of experience that I had. Are you guys still there? Sister Z has frozen. I don't know whether it's
Yeah,
my
I can
network.
hear you. I hear you, Mbali. No, great stuff. That info you just shared now, it's incredible. It's good to have this
So those who
platform
are
like.
interested to know where you can get such posts, you can go online or Google and search pharmaceutical representative jobs, and you would see exactly. They obviously, you have to go there with the kind of experience that you have. So as I said, I was in an infectious diseases portfolio, but there's also general practice portfolio where you would literally detail, for argument's sake, a doctor for a paracetamol, those type of things. So if you are really not comfortable or familiar with working with anti-infectives or antifungals, they still give you training. And fortunately for me, the company that I worked for was one of the companies that are very intense with their training. So you literally go in 3 months of training, learning the drug, learning how to detail, how to be comfortable talking to a specialist, because there's different personalities out there, guys. You would get one that would just like, who are you now to tell me about the drug? Because I did pharmacology and I'm a doctor. I'm a specialist doctor for that matter. So you must go there knowing your story.
Yeah, they did pharmacology 40 years ago. But
Yes.
anyway, yeah, but yeah, because those are the challenges. Yeah, but guys, I think today's topic was mostly to really aspire you to say you can, get out of the clinical setting. Either you're opening your own
Absolutely.
practice or you branch into something totally different that you will think when you see this person walking, you find that their background is nursing. You will probably be thinking, no, they have nothing to do with being a nurse. It's just that sometimes we don't get a chance to engage with these reps or to engage with these people, because uyibonela umuntu nje that is coming to do a walkabout or a checkup that's walking with, and you find out that person is a nurse. Nursing can open a lot of things for us to do. We just need is strength. Unfortunately, yes, we are needed in the clinical facilities, in the hospitals and stuff. And like we're saying, all we need is to rebuild our name. I think once we do that for ourselves, we can go a long way. And the gap of private practice for nurses, corner, the market is still open. You just need to understand that it's not all about glorified, as we are saying. Yes, it looks like we are having fun. It is. We are having fun because we're doing what we like. That is why I said first, make sure ukuthi you change the part of nursing. If you
Yeah, hi guys. Hi guys. My am I even here? Am I back? Guys, my thingy, my Wi-Fi died. My Wi-Fi died, guys. My Wi-Fi died because I lost electricity for over 2 hours now. So my Wi-Fi is able to push for 2 hours. My electricity left at 8 p.m. I think I'm probably gonna receive electricity at 10, and now I'm not someone that normally buys data. Oh, and it's ebuhlungu because, guys, I don't think we are done. I don't think we are done. Mbali and Sister Pumi. Yo, guys, I don't think we are done. But my electricity is still not back yet. And Yazba Manditin. It left at did it leave at 6 or it left at 8? Okay, let me add you back, ladies. But the data that I have, it's not enough, so I'm hoping it's gonna push us until 10 o'clock. Let me add you back. Said.
Oh, sorry, man. You must actually invest in inverters, Sister Z. Yeah, that's the best decision I ever made for myself this year. Because my son, most of their classes are actually online, so I literally was forced. But I'm so grateful because I'm never without electricity. I think I get reminded that I don't have electricity if I have to go out for something maybe at night. That, oh God, we actually don't have
That
electricity.
I want you to
So
continue
investors are
with
the
the pharmaceutical companies that you were giving information
pharmaceutical.
on. If I
Mm.
freeze and my electricity doesn't come back at 10, then we will have to close it. But if electricity comes back at 10, I'm going to come back unless people are going to bed now. But I'm going to give over to you, Mbali.
Okay. Yeah, so guys, there's quite a lot of pharmaceutical companies, and what makes them so good and competitive is most of them are international companies. So my company, the company that I work for, is a US based company, then actually branched into um these these um these African countries, right? So excuse me. Excuse me, guys.
Before I leave,
Sorry
and this
about
I
that.
said, guys, like I am very, very sad. And that time I stay in Sentin. When you tell people that you stay
Oh,
in
you
Sentin,
guys
they
are
think there's
horrible in
something
Cape
better.
Town.
Yeah, we don't have water, we don't have
Oh, you guys
electricity.
are
We
horrible.
don't have water, we don't have electricity. Yes, sis.
Natoto, you're not Juliet Malema, that's why.
Thank you so
And
much,
we
Santa.
need to go and throw chickens. The other day they were throwing chickens at Eskom because Ipatlu didn't have electricity for 2 days. They took rotten chickens and went and threw them at Eskom's head office. It's here in Sunning Hill.
Yeah. So
Guys, do you have
pharmaceutical,
any
guys,
questions
has
for my
also a lot of
Yeah.
okay.
I
So
wanted to ask
pharmaceutical
if
also
anyone
has a
has a
lot of
question for you guys before I leave because I'm literally gonna be cut out by my data now.
okay.
Okay, maybe Z, let's do this. You can have other guests. Maybe then we can also maybe do another live because I don't think there's much left. Maybe by then also it will be more of an engaging session rather than us sharing info. So now they know the
Yeah.
gist of what they can have in questions. Then we can have like a conversation where they'll come with and we try to answer questions as best as we can and give whatever information that we couldn't or maybe that we didn't think of at this particular live so that we don't just go
Yeah.
oops.
Yeah.
I'm
Hey, you
willing
are
to
so right,
come back.
Sister Pumilele. Yeah,
Mm.
I'm also willing. I
And just
think one
the
also one other thing I
mm,
want to add is when you talked about BHF, Sister Pume,
mm,
people must also know that BHF will obviously connect you with the funders, but
that's correct.
yes, each funder would request that you send them your banking details, even though they are there with BHF. They sort of
That's
like need
correct.
proof of banking. So
Mm-hmm.
you'd find that maybe you would do a consultation and then claim for a particular
And then you don't get
funder
paid.
medical aid and you don't get paid and you wonder why you're not paid because everything, then you will have to understand that each individual funder would need your proof of banking. And
Mm.
you also need to understand that some are self-administering, which means that they are
Yes,
not affiliated with any
with any.
umbrella of a
Mm-hmm.
funder, and some are
Mm.
under a certain umbrella. Like MedScheme would have
Yeah,
your
there's a lot
bonitas, your
bonitas
pomade
and
under them, and all of that. Yeah,
you made shield.
yeah.
Yeah. Also, I think one of the thing we did mention, but I think you were still in the comments, is that also a dispensing license is it's also required. So people also can start doing those dispensing courses. They're also very much important as well because you cannot buy medication without them. They want to know that you went for a dispensing license and you did the course as well. So especially if you have to purchase your own medication. So please make sure that also one of the things, add that on the list. We will try when we come back to have names. I'll try and get information on places where these things can be done in KZN because some of the things that you find there's a lot of them in Pretoria or Joburg, but we don't have so much facilities in KZN. But I'll try to gather the list of names and stuff. But most of the applications of the licensing and the permits, they are done in Pretoria, and then the others you will do in your provincial office. That's mostly the licensing and the permits are national permits. So that's in one place. Yeah, guys, no, I think let's do that. We'll talk to Z on the side because she's cut off now. And we will arrange another live where you guys also prepare those questions when she announces we will be back. And we will also try to get specific info for your questions as best as we can. Because I don't think we can be sent questions prior to having a live. I'm not sure if that's also possible,
Mm.
which will make the live more interesting if we are answering questions. Because now when you go through the questions and comments while you're talking, you get to miss some of the things that you guys are asking, and we want to try and help and mentor and assist as best as we can. But in the interim where we are, let's shine the lights, be good, be beautiful, and do more. You don't need to kill yourself. You just need to know what is it that you want, and it's doable. And yeah, we'll talk more.
Yeah, thank you, Sister Pume. It was lovely sharing a platform with you. Such a
Yeah.
breath of fresh air, you know. having actually like nurses helping each other like this. So yeah, I'm also looking forward to more
I was
engagements.
I'm
Pardon?
very happy as well. No, I was very happy when Z started this. It kind of brought me hope. Ukuthi, we, whatever we in our little corners we're trying to rebuild is gonna have, a more larger
Yeah.
platform, and I'm happy to be engaging with nurses from all sorts of corners of of our country. And I know all of us are doing nursing because we love it. I see how people are engaging and how people are passionate about this, and how young they are, and it makes me happy to see ukuthi we have such nurses. Nursing is quite a beautiful job, and I think we can take over from GPs if we want to. We have that power, we have that knowledge, we have that drive. We just need to be, sibe ne-strength. Yabona Mbali, sibe ne-strength nje
Yeah.
sokuthi sibambane and support each other. And mina, if you're in KZN, you're in Durban, holla at me if you wanna come and physically walk and see the clinic. I've allowed people to do that. You are mostly
Yeah, I think
welcome.
that's lovely.
Guys, whoever is here on the live, osedebeni, mina ikliniki isemlazi, I'm inumlazi. If you know how to get to Max's lifestyle for your groove, you pass my clinic before you get there. So you
I
will
like
never
that
get lost.
direction.
Even if you get lost and you find yourself Max udla inyama, ngizowalk and come fetch you there. You are mostly welcome, and we hope to grow and hire people that are also at home. It's sad that we don't. I know we're going to be approached. I'm going to be approached, or now in Bali with post, but
Mm,
people also must understand the economy is quite bad at the moment. We might not have a post for
mm,
you now, but it doesn't mean we're not going to consider you, especially for those that have siblings who are nurses or at home. Bangathi sekuthiwa hayi suka laba bayayitshela bafuna nokusiqasha. Guys, it is tough. Overheads are killing us because of yonke lezi zinto ezenzakayo eSouth Africa. But this is why we are saying those who can open clinics, it means that you can actually put bread when you hire somebody else or unesi, and we
mm,
grow this
mm.
this 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 family and so forth. But yeah, thank you so much, guys, for staying on the live for so long. It's been 2 hours, and we appreciate Suzy. We appreciate all of you.
Thank
Bali,
you.
hopefully when I come that
Um,
side, I'll try and make time
yes.
and pop in
Okay.
one of your
So
clinics.
Movenda was asking where I am in Pretoria. I mean,
Mm.
if you know Louis Pasteur Hospital, I'm inside Louis Pasteur Hospital. I'm actually moving to ground floor. I was on ninth floor. I found it's very convenient for mothers. I'm also in Pretoria West, Lotus Gardens and Endion. Yeah, inside Louis Pasteur, yes, inside Louis Pasteur Hospital. Um, if yeah, on ground floor. Once you get to reception, or you ask the security guards, they would direct you to my practice. Okay, guys, I think yeah, I think we can go. Nurse Z will actually let us know if we have to do this again. It was lovely talking to you all. Thanks for the gifts. Thanks for the words of encouragement. Yeah, I'm looking forward to engaging more with you guys.
Thank you, guys. I did write on the comments the name of the clinic. If you are able to access, just scroll down the comments of the live if it comes. But it's Precious Woman's Clinic, or Phumelele Dlamini or Phume Dlamini on Facebook. You can always just check on follow up or find me under Z's friends list. I will accept friends requests. Thank you so much for everything, guys. Have a good night and enjoy the rest of your week at work. Bye.
Yeah, guys, you can follow me here on TikTok. I'm still busy with, making sure that my pages are, online with everything, because now I have two other practices from the ones, so I'm rearranging everything. So I'm not on socials for now. We just, my team is working very hard to make sure that we actually have the social pages that are supposed to be out there. So for anything, please follow me here, DM me. I'm more than open to everyone. I have locum nurses other PNs that are actually looking for locum that I have. I've had ones that I've retained for quite some time. So yeah, I don't use different people because I understand also the importance of having the same face. You know, people, especially mothers, they're very particular in who they deal with. So I have people that are actually with me.
Okay.
How do I, yeah, how, I think we've said our goodbyes. How do I leave now? How do we leave for me? No, technology, because
Bye, Baba. We'll be strong. Sharp, guys. Thank you. We just log out.
okay.
Okay. Bye,
All right.
y'all.
Bye.